Hello, friendos and bendos. It's me, Z, and this is another unscripted video. This one is for Wonder Woman Day, 2024, and it's about where to start reading Wonder Woman. Okay, where to start reading Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman, despite being a pretty prominent DC character, her comics are not. I mean, a lot of people don't read comics in the first place, and Wonder Woman, even more so. Most people they've only read I don't know, fucking Injustice, I guess, and Injustice sucks, especially for Wonder Woman. So it's like, what are you even doing at this point? You know what I mean? Like people they experience Wonder Woman through adaptations and poorly written comics that don't get to her character at all. And so I want to say if you want to start reading Wonder Woman, if you want to become a Wonder Woman fan, here's the video for you. Yeah. So here we are. So a bit of forward. Wonder Woman, despite being part of DC's Trinity, I'm doing quotes here, open air quotes here. Her history is a lot more un both undocumented and un. She's been through a lot. She's been through a lot of reboots and stuff. Because DC doesn't know what to do with her. They really don't put her on the pedestal that she should be on, despite being the most prominent female superhero, and that sucks. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to tell you the different books that you should be reading. Getting into comics, people think it's hard, but it's really not. You just gotta read, different runs and stuff. They think about it like, oh, I'm gonna be jumping into episode 50 of a 100 episode show, but it's really not like that. It's more like, oh, I'm gonna watch Korra instead of The Last Airbender, or I'm gonna start Star Wars with the prequels instead of the originals, or the originals instead of the prequels. You know what I mean? It's more like that, where different runs they have, different authors with different story arcs, but you can really jump into whatever one you want. I mean, some of them require a bit more knowledge than others, but it's really not that big of a deal. So just hop into whatever runs you can, and this is just a suggestion video for the different runs that you should do. I'm going to start with my preferred origin, and then go into books by chronological order, recommending books in chronological order. There are some books that people might recommend that I might not put into this video, and some books here that I'm putting in that some people might not recommend, but this is just my personal opinion. All right? Anyway, let's really get started now. All right? The most recent and best origin IMO is Wonder Woman Year One by Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka is a wonderful Wonder Woman writer, and Wonder Woman Year One is really good, and you should read it. It's just a very good modern retelling of Wonder Woman's origin story, and I think it still is the canon one for now. I mean, canon doesn't really matter in DC Comics that much as you think. Like they do so much, continuity remodeling that canon really shouldn't matter that much to you. But if you are one of those people who like really obsess over what's canon or not, this is the most recent canon origin story for Wonder Woman, and it's really good. Beautiful art, beautiful storytelling. Really gets into the logistics of Wonder Woman coming to man's world, Themyscira, everything like that. Her supporting cast, her initial supporting cast. And it's really good. You should definitely read this book, give it a chance. All right, now next up, let's go in chronological order. Wonder Woman by George Perez is a classic. This is a classic run. You should read this, okay? Wonder Woman by George Perez. He redefined Wonder Woman's character after the Crisis on Infinite Earths reboots, and this is pretty much the basis of most Wonder Woman stories, most Wonder Woman modern stories. There are elements of, Wonder Woman pre this run, that have made their way into stuff, both modern day comics as well as adaptations. But Wonder Woman by George Perez is by far like Wonder Woman's defining run. This is the defining Wonder Woman run, and you gotta read this one. It's so good. So many iconic stories, so many well written stories, so many characters reintroduced and remade for the modern day. honestly, Wonder Woman by George Perez is just beautiful. You really got to read it. Next up, probably the most underrated run, Wonder Woman by Eric Luke. So unfortunately, this one isn't collected in like volumes to read. Again, Wonder Woman, despite being a popular character, or being should be a, despite the fact that she should be a popular character, a lot of her books are not collected in trades, unfortunately, and Eric Luke's run is one of those things. The entire run is not collected. You really have to like search for the individual issues and stuff like that, or you could pirate them. But I would never suggest piracy ever. What? I would never do so. That was a little inside joke there. Anyway, Wonder Woman by Eric Luke, I think it's very underrated. People don't talk about this one a lot, but I do like it. It introduces Devastation, who is honestly probably also the most underrated Wonder Woman villain. It also comes off the coattails of John Byrne's Wonder Woman run, and I don't like John Byrne's Wonder Woman run, but this run by Eric Luke, it tries to take what John Byrne did and say, okay, let's try to make sense of what Byrne did, because none of that made sense. But we're gonna try, okay, and I honestly really like this run. It introduces a lot of stuff with wider mythology to the Wonder Woman mythos, and I just really like it. Also, these covers are really good. The covers in this run, so good. Very underrated run. All right, pretty damn good. Wonder Woman by Phil Jimenez. Some people like this more. Some people say this is the best run. But not for me personally. It's really good, but for me, it's not the best run. It's top 5 for sure, but not top 3. You know what I mean? But it is still really good, and you should give it a read. Now, me personally, my favorite Wonder Woman run is Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka. The first Wonder Woman run by Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka did 2 Wonder Woman runs. This is the first one. The other one was done post New 52 and post Rebirth. So it's in the newer continuity, but this one is in the older continuity before the New 52, and it's so good. This book is so good. I just really can't recommend it enough. There's one issue with it though, and it's that DC editorial kind of fucked him up. They kind of fucked Greg Rucka's run up in the latter stages because they were doing the whole Infinite Crisis event thing and the whole New Earth reboots and stuff with like OMAC and Maxwell Lord, that sort of stuff. Because of that, they had to rush through Veronica Cale, who was the main villain, who was supposed to be the main villain run. They kind of rushed through her thing. They also kind of rushed through a character betrayal that was supposed to be done. They really rushed through that as well, unfortunately. But trust me when I say that even with those pitfalls near the end, Greg Rucka's Wonder Woman run is so character defining as well. I think it's amazing, And as much as I love George Perez's run, as iconic as it is, I do think that this is better. I do think that it's better, and I love it more. And I love Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka. It is fantastic. So next up we have Greg Rucka's Wonder Woman run post DC Rebirth. So this is after the New 52 and after the Rebirth initiative, which said, actually, New 52 Wonder Woman, we didn't like that at all, so we're scrapping all of it, and we're bringing back a bunch of the stuff pre-New 52, and that's what Wonder Woman Rebirth by Greg Rucka is, that's what it did. It was like, New 52 didn't happen, so we're kind of like doing another Wonder Woman reboot again, you know what I mean? That might sound confusing. It's really not, actually. It's just, hey there, we realized that Wonder Woman the past few years wasn't very good, wasn't really what you expect of her character, so we're trying to bring her back to her roots, and that's what Wonder Woman Rebirth was. You can see that in the collected side of things, Volume 2 and Volume 4 I recommend you read those first, because this is chronological order. Volume 2 and Volume 4 take place before Volume 1 and Volume 3. They actually did this whole thing where they alternated, so Issue 1 would be present day, and Issue 2 would be before that, and Issue 3 would be present day, and Issue 4 would be before that, and then they collected them in the issues. So it is much better to read these in the collected volumes than issue by issue. So yeah. So really read Volume 2, which is Year 1, then Volume 4, which is Godwatch, then Volume 1, which is The Lies, and then Volume 3, which is The Truth. Really good run again. In my opinion, not as good as Rucka's original run, but this is still really good. They do a few things here where it's like, you kind of think to yourself, like, because if you're looking at modern day runs, a few of the things here, you kind of wonder, are they still the same? Like, do they still do the same stuff? But overall, Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka, his second run, is still so good. It's so good. And it takes all the stuff from the New 52 and says, shoo shoo, go away, New 52. Wonder Woman's back, baby. And she's really good. Now, the most recent run is Wonder Woman by Tom King. It's really good. Honestly, it's also a really good starting point, I think, because it takes you into a new arc, and you can read it by itself, but it also has references to old stuff, but like in such a way that you can read it and still just enjoy it full well. I'm really enjoying King's run so far. It's a bit divisive in the community because King is a very divisive writer. Some people don't like his writing style. Some people don't like the themes he does in his work. But I personally like King, and I think this is a really good run. And yeah, you should start reading it. It's ongoing right now. New issues every month. And so yeah. All right, moving on. Let's do some side quests. Let's do some non-canon stuff, as well as, you know, stuff that isn't like runs. These are just like standalone stories. Okay, Wonder Woman: The Historia by DeConnick and Jimenez is so good. It's a very good reimagining of the whole Themysciran origin before Diana was born. The art is beautiful. The story is really good, and honest to God, you could even consider it canon. Like, there's not much in it that's like not, you know, canon adjacent. You know what I mean? There's a few stuff that, of course, marks it as, you know, obviously non-canon, but like you can really say that like the broad strokes of it are canon, and it's so good. Wonder Woman: Spirit of Truth by Paul Dini and art by Alex Ross is also insanely good. It is just so beautiful. It's a beautiful short story that you should read, and I love it so much. You also have Justice League of One by Christopher Muller. I think it's really good. It's about Diana, you know, fighting, you know, this ancient force that, you know, apparently is going to kill the Justice League. And so she's like, okay, if I'm the only member of the Justice League in operation, then that means that only I should die, right? So she tries to get rid of all the Justice League members for like the time being, so that she can fight the monster herself. And it's also a really good story. I really like it. Christopher Muller also does the art, and it's so good. And last but not least, Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. This is taking place in DC's new Absolute Universe, and it's starting with issue 1, October 23, you know, another new monthly series. And it's shaping up to be really good from the previews. I'm really excited for this. And the Absolute Universe has been tons of fun so far. And so I'm just recommending this to you. So honestly, like, this is a great time to be a Wonder Woman fan overall, because King's run is really good, and Absolute Wonder Woman is looking to be really good. So you can follow 2 absolutely great Wonder Woman runs monthly in real time. And yeah, so that's the end of the video, and please comment down below, what are your thoughts? You know, are there any runs that you do think that I should have talked about, and stuff like that? And if this video was helpful at all as well, talk about that as well. So thank you, friendos and bendos. This has been me, Z, and bye-bye.